I call this meeting to order. Roll call, we are missing Doug Thompson. He is out of town today. Everyone else is here. From there, we'll go to the invocation. Council Member Reiteicher, would you provide the invocation?
At this council meeting, help us make decisions which keep us faithful to our mission and reflect our values. Give us strength to hold to our purpose, wisdom to guide us, and a keen perception to lead us. Above all, keep us charitable as we deliberate.
And Councilmember Short will pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I'll start off with Mayor and Council comment. Jim, you have anything? Yeah.
No, sir.
Nope. Public comment. We have one card up here. Mr. Wolford, name, address, 3 minutes, and you know all the rules, I think.
I think I know the rules. I'm sure I'll be told. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, council members. Happy New Year to everyone. I'll tell you my name is Tom Taylor. Do I get 6 minutes? Let's start with a little levity. Actually, I'm very serious, as usual, public comment to make. On 9/11/2012, two Dunwoody City police officers, Officers Loud and Barrett, gave a class on gangs as part of the Dunwoody CPA. They gave a lot of good information about gang activity. One thing they stated was that at the time there were about 1.4 million gang members in the United States. I understand in Dunwoody, most people's concerns are probably not paying their nanny taxes, but it is a real threat. And the Dunwoody police, I'm sure, as other law enforcement, are aware of it. So I'll be as brief as possible. I'm here tonight because I would like to make a request of council. And I'm going to go ahead and say that when I finish my comments, I'm going to leave this information with my new representative, James Reiteicher. How do you pronounce it? Reiteicher, thank you. And I'll leave him in charge to shepherd this the way it needs to go. But I'm going to ask that the council view a 15-minute video and the 2 articles that I'm going to leave with Jim regarding a law enforcement training that is available to the Dunwoody Police Department free of charge. So I'll jump forward and say there are 2 reasons why the council should do this. Number 1, it's free. It doesn't cost the city anything. Number 2, very seriously, it could save an officer's life. So without any further ado, I would just like to read from the article here, which is from the winter issue of the Southern Poverty Law Center report. A DVD is the 3rd training video produced by the SPLC for law enforcement. The previous 2 focused on racist skinheads and anti-government sovereign citizens who comprise what the FBI has labeled a domestic terrorism movement. The SPLC also offers free in-person training sessions for local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies to help them recognize and respond to the radical right and anti-government extremists. I have one video that was the 2nd video, which is one of the videos, my personal one. I'm going to give it to the council. I encourage you to view it, perhaps with Chief Grogan, and then discuss with Chief Grogan the possibility of providing this training to our law enforcement officers so they can be safer out there on the street. I'll also leave the 2 articles for them to read. You can read it at your leisure. But this is a training that's available from the Southern Poverty Law Center. They have a lot of experience, broad base of knowledge, and resources available. They're making this one free to law enforcement. I'm going to donate the 2nd video, which talks about the sovereign citizens threat, and then the new one that's available is about the gangs. Thank you.
If you do anything you want, leave anything you want with Sharon. All right, that's all we have for public comment. We will now move on to G1, update on the Cat-to-Cat interface project with Kimberly Greer.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. We remain for the Cat-to-Cat interface project, we remain on the schedule outlined 2 weeks ago at the January 14th council meeting. The CAB's CAB vendor, Interact, will be completing their CAD system update the first week in February, and we have scheduled interface testing for the second week in February. Our intent is still to, unless any other hurdles are uncovered, go live towards the end of February. As the council requested, Lieutenant Mooneyham from the DeKalb County 911 Center has joined us tonight. Should we need to ask him any additional questions? But other than remaining on the schedule, I'm not sure if he has other information to add. I'd be happy to answer your questions.
I guess it is what it, as Eddie just said, it is what it is. I guess the question is, what's different this time? It's not an unreasonable question.
Certainly, sir. I believe at this point, every party involved in the process has come up with, and we have now solved all the hurdles that they think are humanly possible at this point. However, I don't have any further assurances other than every party and interested individual that's involved in this process has had sufficient time knowing that we plan to go live and that any issues or problems that they need to come up with need to come forward. So I would like as much as the council for this project to be implemented so that we can better respond to our citizens' emergencies.
I ask because I've been made personally aware of a recent case involving a handoff that was not the greatest, and it could have been handled better procedurally. At the Chatcom level, would have been handled a lot better had there been a proper CAD-to-CAD situation that was involving a medical emergency, and we're still digging into that, understanding all the details. But there's no doubt that CAD-to-CAD would have made a big difference in this case. It's a great concern. Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Lieutenant, why don't you join us? And you come all this way. I hate to leave you out there. I think we were wanting you or a representative from the county to come and just kind of hear some questions if we have any, but mainly to hear your point of view on how this is going and what you perceive to be the how it's doing and what the next steps are in your mind.
Yes, sir. This latest encounter we had with Interact, the vendor, needing to upgrade to a higher version of what we're already on. We did not anticipate that. I found out about it early in December. I've sat down with Interact. I feel confident they can get this done because basically what we're having to do is upgrade our entire mobile side or our mobile fleet of about 700 computers when we upgrade for this CAD interface. And that's because Interact built the interface on that version, meaning we're going to have to move up to the end. Sat down with them the first week in January. They're going to have their entire staff down with us when we do this upgrade. So I'm feeling okay about it, and we're going to go ahead and make that happen on February the 4th. Past that, as long as it goes well, I don't anticipate anything else that will hold us up.
Have you, thank you for coming, by the way, I know it's a long distance for you. Do you have responsibility just for the 911 center, or do you have responsibility for the dispatch center? How is that divided up?
Both. We've got the dispatch center and then basically the technology side or the CAD side and everything. I've got both of them.
Okay. And do you have any hesitation at all, even just a tiny bit? Do you have any hesitation at all about the CAD-to-CAD transfer and the project and its ability to work and function correctly once the CAD system is updated?
I don't. From what I've seen from the latest round of testing we did, just prior to finding out about the Interact issue, everything went very smooth. It went well. And I think that it will work and it won't be a problem once we get this handled.
Okay. And what has been your experience, if you might offer that, in working with the other end of this pipe with Chatcom?
We have not had any real issue with Chatcom. mean, the only time we're working with Chatcom is on Dunwoody calls. Anything that I've needed from Chatcom, I've been able to get it. We've had a good working relationship with them.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Again, echo ditto, and thanks for coming out. You probably, once you got out here, you found there wasn't any traffic out here, so you got right in. But I think the question is that once we get this up and running, and nobody out here likes it. We don't like it. They don't like it. Nobody likes it, but we got to keep on, and that's what we're doing. But once we do this, and somebody has to, it's up and running, and say come June, somebody says, hey, we have to update that. Is that an on-the-go update, or do we have to stop everything and update and retest?
It's probably going to depend what it is and what you're updating. I would think that with most things it could be, you could keep moving with it, but there could be some things where we had to go back, maybe for a day to a one-button transfer or a time period to a transfer. It would just depend on what you were doing out there.
But you'd see that if we had to, a very short period.
Yes, I would think so.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I just have. Thank you for coming. And is Interact, I assume that now they're aware that there are these puzzle pieces that all have to fit together, and that in the future perhaps there'll be better communication, do you think, in terms of updates and stuff?
I hope so.
Okay.
Question if John doesn't.
No, go.
Go ahead.
Somewhere in the past, I thought I read that DeKalb County was potentially changing its CAD vendor. Is that registered with you? Is
Yeah.
that a correct statement?
Yes, sir. We're in the process of writing an RFP. It's currently in the purchasing department.
Just get closer to the mic.
Sorry. We're currently in the process of writing an RFP, or it's written, it's down in the purchasing department right now. We're waiting on that to be published, and that hasn't happened, but that was for a new computer-aided dispatch system.
And how would that change, if there is a change? I presume Interact may very well bid on that and could be the successful bidder, but someone else could be as well.
Yes, sir.
Would that make a change to the system that's used, and would we be back to the one-button transfer until we reprogram that connectivity?
The RFP as it is written includes the Dunwoody interface, so anybody that's bidding on it would currently have to bid within their price for that interface, or have to complete that interface. So they would work on it. I'm sure we would have to test it, and the initial go live to make sure that everything worked. That would be the only time that I would think we'd be down.
Actually, I don't have.
Yeah, I think the reason as a ditto again, we truly appreciate you coming. I think we've spent the last couple of years with a lot of people pointing fingers. As we got into this, we realized there's a lot of fingers out there, and a lot of them were pointed at you guys. So I appreciate you guys, and I've had good conversations with you guys, and I appreciate you guys making this commitment to make this happen. But I think that's what I want to make sure you understood, that we, as Terry says, we fear that no matter what we do, we'll always be a step behind as either Chatcom or DeKalb changes something, and then all of a sudden we slip back into the redheaded stepchild and waiting for something else to happen to keep us on. So I appreciate you saying that all these RFPs will have Dunwoody and Chatcom
Yes, sir.
built into the plan. Anybody else have any comments?
Thanks.
Come again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that's the only thing we had on city business other than reviewing the regular meeting agenda. We've got a bunch of stuff on the consent agenda. Anybody want to make any changes to tonight's meeting?
I just have a question, Warren. Did you see the email I sent you this morning or this afternoon about the policy of the trees with Georgia Power and all that?
I did, and I think
I think those issues are something that does need to be addressed, but it wouldn't be relevant to this policy.
Because this policy only applies to public land?
Correct.
Okay, all right, just so I don't take another person. All right, thank you.
Okay, anything else on tonight's agenda? All right. We'll get to voting on approving that at the next meeting. Initiation text amendments on any other business? Any public comment? Okay,
May I, Mr. Mayor?
come on.
By the way, I failed to state my name last time. It's Robert Wolford. Most people know me by Bob. I live in the Georgetown community since 1967 as a permanent resident. And I just want to follow up on my earlier public comments. I'm looking you guys in the eye. I'm requesting that you view this video, that you read those 2 articles, and that you take that very seriously. There is one caveat I forgot to point out. There was a time when the chief investigator from the SPLC, I had a conversation with him, and I told him I was interested in having Dunwoody get this free training. And he mentioned that there was a limit, there was a number of police officers that needed to participate, and I'm not sure Dunwoody reaches that threshold. We can find that out. If not, the suggestion was to involve our neighbors in Sandy Springs, Johns Creek, or Chamblee, or the new Brookhaven Police Department, which could also benefit from this training. If you, my new representative, Jim, has my contact information. If you have any questions about it, please feel free to get in touch with me. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, Mayor and Council closing comments. John?
No, sir.
No, thank you.
All right, I need a motion. Doug's not here, so I need someone else to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
All right.
All right, we'll be back at 7 o'clock for the regular scheduled meeting.